She's gonna signal you when our stream goes on.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And were you gonna do call-ins or anything?
Actually, yes. Is that the number right here, right? The 747
Mm-hmm.
888. Okay. We probably won't do them today.
Okay.
Maybe not today. What do you think? Because what would be, we have to do like an extra setup, I guess I'm trying to figure out.
Oh yeah, the call-ins won't be able to hear on your feed.
On my feed.
It would only
Okay.
be our feed.
Okay, so
You're
we'll
right,
do
because
it.
it's only you'll only be able to hear through the headphones.
Okay, awesome. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, we're good for today though.
Okay.
Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to Lakeisha Speaks Tech. I am your host, Lakeisha, and I'm super excited today because this is the first episode of Lakeisha Speaks Tech. I've been talking about this for some time now, and this has really been a long time coming. And today is the day we're live, and I have our special guest here, Chef Arthur J. And we're going to be asking him some great questions. So if you're in the industry, if you're trying to be a chef or an executive chef, whatever the case may be, this is definitely a show for you. Go ahead and get paper and pencil just to have it ready. So when we get to his segment, you'll be ready to go. So again, welcome to Lakeisha Speaks Tech. This is our first episode. And the focus on this episode, honestly, is just to get you familiar with what to expect from the show. And also we'll go over some of the segments as well, just so you know what all, we have in store for you. Now, let's just get some housekeeping out of the way. I'm a little hoarse, as you can hear. I'm a little under the weather, just a little bit, but the show must go on, as they say in showbiz. So come on, let's just go ahead and get started. First, I want to explain how the show or why I even wanted to start this type of show. So I own a company called Elevate Digital Media, technology and digital marketing agency, and we develop websites, mobile apps, and we also provide online marketing solutions. So I basically know the pain points. I know what our clients come to us with, so I know what it is that you're going through. So I said, you know what? Let's bring a little bit of the agency life over to you guys for free. Right here on YouTube, we're live streaming. You're able to ask questions, and we'll have different types of guests that'll be coming to the show, guests that are successful, that's willing to give you advice on how they got where they are, guests who's doing great, but they just want to elevate and integrate online marketing and technology into their company. And we'll also have those guests who's having a bit of a challenge and they just need some help with setting up a strategy. All of that you'll find right here on the show. So we're going to go ahead and start with our first segment. We have our apps and gadgets segment. And basically I'll go over, some apps that I'm going to review, and all the reviews are positive. I'm not going to bring any negative reviews on here. So the app and gadget that I want to actually feature today is the Apple Watch. Here it goes. I got this for my birthday, June 2nd. So if you want to buy me a gift next year, you can. But the Apple Watch, it's like a great tool that I've added to my life. It's just something that I can't live without. At first, when the watch first came out, because it's been out for a while, of course, but I was kind of like, why do I need this watch? So when I got it as a gift, I was like, I'll give it a try. And guess what? It has really changed my life. Literally, my phone dies a lot. If most of you are like me, I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning because I have some clients that are on the East Coast, and it's a 3-hour time difference. So that can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes. But I'm on my phone from 6 a.m. throughout the whole day, and it often dies, even though I have a charger in the car. So with the watch, I'm still able to make phone calls. I'm still able to have access to my calendar, my emails, and everything. It's just like it's a phone. It's just in a watch form. So definitely check that out at the App Store. And another cool thing is I'm trying to live this healthier lifestyle, Chef.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live. So I'm vegan now, and I'm also incorporating working out into my lifestyle. And with the watch, I'm able to incorporate that. As a business owner, we have to stay healthy. So I'm able to incorporate like different workouts, and I'm also winning like these little different, you set little different goals, and whenever you accomplish it, they give you a prize. So we like to win. If you're a business owner, you like to win. So I love when I'm actually reaching the goals and I'm able to get all these different prizes. Psychologically, for me, it works. So definitely, again, just check out the app. Just check out the watch, not the app. They have a lot of apps that go into it. All right. So I want to move on to our social media quick tips. So with our social media quick tips segment, I'll basically give you guys different and new trends that is going on with social media, as well as any type of new functionality, any new algorithms, or whatever the case may be. I'll provide you guys that information so you don't have to go out looking for it. And today I want to focus on 4 reasons why influencers should actually be a part of your marketing strategy. So right now, Facebook just launched, not sure if you know this, but they recently launched a brands and influencer website. And on their brands, you can actually go and find creators who can market your and promote your items, your services, or your products. So if you're a brand, definitely check that out. And I'll actually put the email in the description part once the live stream ends. I'll put the link there. And if you're a creator, it's the same link. You'll just click on creator. But it's a pretty cool tool that they actually are launching. And the reasons why you want to be a part of this, here we go. First of all, minimum cost. So imagine having someone that you really don't know, but they're an influencer, having them wear your product or promote your items. Some of them, they'll do it for free because they just only want the product. Some people, it may cost $250, $300. I know there's some agencies out there, you can get 3 influencers for like $850. So that's not expensive. So minimum cost is definitely always a win, especially when you're on a budget and you're looking for ROI, your return on investment. The second reason that you should have influencers as part of your strategy is it's simple. It is stupid simple. It's as simple as going to Instagram, clicking on the email, or just DMing them, direct messaging them and saying, hey, what are your rates? Finding out what their rates are, and pretty much you have an influencer, right? Now, part of this I want to say is finding an influencer. It is simple and easy. However, finding the right influencer is most important. It's not about the followers, because followers does not equal dollars. Followers does not equal money. I'm telling you. I've had people come to me, they've had hundreds and thousands of followers on Instagram, and they're not making any money. So a rule of thumb is you want to make sure you take the number of followers, and I'm going to need someone to do some multiplication here for me real quick on one of your phones. So take the number of followers. Let's say they have 1,000 followers, something simple, right? Multiply that by 0.0164. The number that you get, what's the answer? 16.4. 16.4. So that means they should have at least 16 or 17 people engaging with that particular post. That can be in the form of likes. It can be in the form of just comments or video views, depending on what type of content that they're posting. So that's 1,000 followers. Take their followers and multiply that by 0.0164, just to make sure that they're getting the right engagement. Because you know how people like to buy followers. People do, they're still doing that. And some people have bots, so make sure whatever comments that are being made, make sure those comments make sense, is matching the image that you see, because bots will comment something. You'll have a picture of Oprah saying she's your hashtag WCW, and the bot may say something like awesome, or it may say something like cool content. You know that's a bot. So just be careful. So you have to do your research, okay, whenever you're actually choosing these influencers. So the third reason you want to add influencers to your strategy is it actually builds your brand. They pretty much can take your company to the next level if it's the right influencer. They can take your company to the next level. So every time that you have a product and it's being featured by these different people, just think about it. People are constantly seeing your product. If you have 3 influencers and each of them have, let's say, an average of 15,000 followers, you have like 45,000 people, you know, a chance of reaching 45,000 people to view your product, more followers than what you probably have, you know, with your business. And lastly, it actually builds your status, credibility. People trust you. Now you get to the point where you can actually get celebrities to promote your product and your brand. So it actually builds the status of your business. All right. So that is the end of our social media quick tips segment. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our special guest. And this is Chef Arthur J. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. And we have another segment that I'll go over a little later because we don't have someone for this segment, not today since it's the first show. But I'm going to bring our special guest, Chef Arthur J on. How are you doing today, Chef?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I've never been in a room so quiet. I'm used to pots and pans clacking and dishes moving around. Made me a little nervous at first. It's so quiet.
Yeah, I hear that you guys be throwing pots and pans in the kitchen and.
Nah, that was in the '80s. Now we got human resources. We can't throw them. Yeah, you gotta go in the freezer and punch on frozen foods instead.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad that you have me here on the show.
Okay,
You know,
thanks for
it's,
being here.
Actually, my first. Well, no, it's actually not. Here in California is my first show. So.
Oh wow! This is your first. I feel honored. Thank you so much for just agreeing to be on the show. And just to be transparent a little bit, guys. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to have a guest because I was like, it's the first episode. I'll just explain what it's about. But then I said, you know what? We need to have a guest on. And he, at the last minute, he agreed to be on the show. And so I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'll always remember that. So I owe you one.
Thank you. Your first guest.
Oh, first guest. Got to get a picture. The whole thing with Chef Arthur J, he kind of explained to me, he wants to basically elevate his business. Like he's been an executive chef at some great high-end restaurants from, oh my gosh, it's a list. The list goes on. I'll let him tell you himself. But he's been an executive chef. He's owned his own restaurant in the DMV area. So he's really doing a lot and have a lot of great things going on. But now what he wants to do is really integrate and elevate his business with the technology and just the right social media tools so he can take it to the next level. Am I right?
You're right.
I'm right. So what we're going to do today, it's going to be like a coaching session, okay? So we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to find out, what it is that he's trying to do with his business. And for those of you who's in the industry, again, take notes because you can utilize these same strategies and tactics that we'll go over here. I won't go over everything here on the show because we got to bring him back so he can share his results. But we're going to start with getting to know who he is first. And then I'll go ahead and move on to the coaching questions and getting down to what he needs to do to kick his online marketing and everything off. Okay? Sounds good?
Okay, so I'm originally from Washington, D.C. Shout out to D.C.
DMV in the house.
That's right. Moved to California 5 years ago. I guess D.C. was where my heart is, but California is where my hustle. I want to explore my craft here in the L.A. area. But as I noticed, there's a lot of chefs stroking their ego on the plate. What I want to do different, I want to get back into the homes. The passion for me being the chef really developed from watching my mom prepare dinner for her siblings and family members and how everyone gather around and eat and passing the peas like we used to do. Now everyone is in the drive-through window or you sitting in the restaurant with your family relying on strangers to take care of you. I want to show how to bring family back together with great food. And some of the items that you purchase in the restaurant, I want to show you how to make it at home and make it affordable. So we can get back to, like you said, working on our diet and on what's going into our foods that we eat each day.
Exactly.
With obesity rising in children, we need to get back into their diet. I know everyone is on the grind and the hustle, but we have to take care of the kids and make sure they're eating properly. Something I do at home, I make sure kids at least once a day, we all sit down and break bread together. Just once a day. I think that's the best thing you could do for your family. That's when you pose those questions and we talk about everything that's going on in their lives. That probably is part of the reason why we lost, I guess, that line of communication with our children. And that's something I want to bring to families and homes, bring it back.
Well, I think, social media has a lot to do with that. It's kind of one of those things, a catch-22 with social media. Yeah. Just because we have our gadgets, our phones and everything in our hands.
No phones at the table.
No phones at the table.
Leave the phones, yeah.
But it's like social media, sometimes it is that bread and butter for you. So whenever you're kind of going back and forth with your potential client, and with Facebook, it's like they rate you. They'll say something like, oh, Lakeisha Speaks, she answers back in, 20 minutes or a day. And if it gets to 2 or 3 or 4 days, you go into the red, right. And people can see that. So you feel like I always have to be on social media. So that's why I feel like, the phone is at the table or, whatever the reason may be. But then you have the kids who's just on the phone for fun, looking at Instagram and just, Snapchat and those different things. So, okay, that sounds...
I do agree.
Awesome.
I look in the dining room sometimes. I'll come out, look in the dining room, and there's a couple, but they're both in their phones. So I
When
don't
you say
know
the dining room, meaning where?
in the restaurant.
In the restaurant. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
And couples are on their phone when they're sitting at the bar, instead of talking to the person beside you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's in their phone nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So how do we? I mean, I understand social media is very important for growing
It's just got to
business.
be a balance.
There has
That's
to
all.
be a balance. I rely on social media. I need more social media into my craft and as well as my business to help it grow. But I just want to take maybe 30 minutes a day, no social media. We sit down and we really break bread. And I want
Okay.
to teach how to properly prepare these food items,
Okay.
how to store them. I'll go grocery shopping. I'll be live going grocery shopping, showing you how to pick the right vegetables and fruits. Meats, if you're eating them as well, fish,
Wow.
what meats and fish to eat, and how to select your chicken and things like that. Is I think is something that we take for granted. We go in the store and we just grab whatever's out there,
Whatever's out there.
available. We're not taking a look at what we're eating.
Because this is about convenience at the end of the day. So, well, let me ask you this. So there are some myths that goes around, right? Well, this particular one is someone actually inboxed me because I was telling them, I said, oh yeah, I'm going to have Chef Arthur J on the show. He agreed to come on the show. So they wanted me to ask you, what do you think about people who actually rinse their meat?
All right, so there's a myth that when you buy chicken from the grocery store, you have to take it home and clean it.
Yes.
So when you ask, why are you cleaning your chicken? They say, well, I want to rinse off all the germs and bacteria.
Good water.
So I'm like, okay, what's in your water that's going to kill the germs and bacteria that's on chicken? Right? So if we can take our chicken to the sink and rinse off all the germs and bacteria with water, then we need to drink more water. So what you're doing, actually, if there's any germs and bacteria on that chicken, you're now contaminating your sink.
Oh.
Right? So now you have rinsed it off the chicken into your sink. So when you're washing your dishes, when you are rinsing your vegetables, now you contaminate your vegetables and everything else is going to the sink.
Okay, guys, you got that? Don't rinse your chicken.
The best way to
Don't
do your
rinse your chicken.
is you take it out the package, dispose of the package, you pat it dry,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And you go from there. You do not want to rinse your chicken.
Got
If
it.
there's anything on your chicken that's going to kill you, water is not going to save you.
Well, thank you for that lesson. So I hope you're watching. I'm not going to call her name. She wanted me to keep her anonymous. So before we get into the serious stuff, what profession other than what you're doing now that you would like to attempt to do?
Hi, that's a good question. I don't know. After being in the studio today, made me nervous being outside the kitchen. You know, the kitchen is deeply rooted in my heart. I'm outside of a chef. I'm a devoted husband and father. If I had to say anything else, I think it would be a nightclub owner.
Oh, okay. They make some really great money too, so not a bad thing. Okay, cool. So now what I want to do, since like I told everyone that, you know, Chef Arthur J, he actually owned a restaurant out in the DMV area before moving out here to LA. So I want to get into the part of you sharing some of the knowledge of people who's thinking about opening a restaurant or becoming an executive chef, whatever the case may be. I just want to ask some questions, and this is for you guys. So I want to ask some questions so you can help them.
Okay.
All right. So for people who's watching, what are some hurdles did you personally face, and how did you overcome them in your industry?
Okay, so when I first got into the industry, I became a dishwasher
Okay.
first. Learning how to wash dishes, you may think that that's a job that you don't want to do, but it's the most important job in the kitchen. Clean plates and spoons and forks and glassware is very important.
Mm-hmm.
The dishwasher is the hardest working person in the building. So I would suggest before going to culinary art school, work in a restaurant for 2 years.
Okay.
With no experience, go to a restaurant owner and say, I'll start off as a dishwasher. Right? And while you're washing dishes, observe the operation. And then take every opportunity that comes to you. Sometimes we be short-staffed, we may need you to do something else. Be open to doing it. I worked my way up from a dishwasher all the way to executive chef to a business owner. So there's tricks of the trade that you must know, and there's no easy way around it. So culinary art school is not the answer that's going to make you a chef. So many young chefs come to me from culinary art school, and they missed a lot of important things that they cannot recreate It's reality based only. You cannot recreate it in the kitchen or into a school.
The school.
It can't be recreated.
And you know, it's funny that you said that because when I used to work in Bethesda, Maryland, at Marriott headquarters,
Yes.
and I was a developer there, but Mr. Marriott, they were just his kids. They would come in and they were explaining how basically they had to start out being a maid. They had to. He made them start out just to see how hard their job was as well. One son, he didn't want to start there. So a few years later, he decided that he wanted to join the team after his brothers were kind of in a lot higher positions.
Yeah.
But guess what? They made him start out as a maid as well. So I thought that was pretty humbling experience. And
Yeah,
so just
I can
hearing you
respect
saying, you know, definitely starting out a dishwasher so everyone can respect what everyone is doing.
Exactly.
I think that is extremely important.
Yeah, so you understand every position and what everyone is going through.
Exactly.
There's nothing my dishwasher, my prep cook, grill cook, purchase manager could tell me that I don't already know because I experienced it. So I know what you're going through and I know your trials and tribulations. Secondly, I would suggest before you open up a restaurant with the idea of this is the type of food you want to prepare, make sure your location meets that demand.
Explain that a little more.
Okay, so for instance, if you move into an area where there's high-end steakhouses,
Okay.
and let's say if you want to do something that you have your mindset on, which is a different type of cuisine, let's say like an Indian cuisine,
Okay.
it may not work in that district. So scout the area that you're moving into and make sure it matches. So for me, I'm more of a restaurant, American bistro chef. But my first restaurant, the area was calling for American soul food, right?
Right.
I had all these other fancy ideas I wanted to put together, but they wanted soul food.
About the location.
So I had to give them what they want.
Okay.
So you either have to pick the right location or be willing to give the audience what they want in the location that you decide to set your restaurant in.
Okay. So what did you have to sacrifice in order to get where you are today? What were some things that you have to sacrifice? Because I don't think a lot of people, that if you're new to business or thinking about starting a business, you got to make, there's going to be sacrifice. There's no way around it.
I hit the brick wall. My brick wall was, as an owner, I had to understand I was everything from A to Z, from the front door to the back door. I'm HR, I'm the chef, I'm the server if I need to be, I'm the busboy, the dishwasher. You don't have no support, no help, you're everything. As a small business owner, you can't afford to hire the entire staff. So you must wear a lot of different hats. So my morning would start at 5 a.m. and I'm at Restaurant Depot grabbing everything I need. I'm in my building by 8 o'clock and don't leave until 10:30 at night. And that was 7 days a week for over a year and a half until I had to take a break. But by then my staff was trained. So understand, you know, it's not like a 9 to 5 when you're going to be able to take vacation. There's no sick leave. There's no staff to really cover you. It's a lot of hard work. I just want to make sure before you jump out there, because there's a lot of cooking shows and make it seem like it's all fun and games and a lot of money. You know, it takes you about 5 years before you even recoup any of your money.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, 99% of restaurants fail in their first year.
99% of restaurants fail in their first year.
Successful until after your 5th year.
Okay.
So it's a lot of sacrificing. You know, you change your whole lifestyle. So I had to get rid of my nice truck and get a van for the business.
Okay.
So when I'm off, which was rare, I'm in a work truck. So you have to commit for at least 3 to 5 years before thinking you're gonna be like a successful restaurant owner and have all this money. It's not gonna happen unless you have a huge backing behind you. And if you have investors, which is like almost working for someone, because these investors want you to report to them daily your sales, your purchases. You know, they want to hear numbers, and that's all they understand. They don't understand what's going on. They just know they put up money, they want money back. So be careful going out getting investors, because there's a lot of stress on producing and making sure they get their money back at the time you promised.
Wow. So guys, keep that in mind. Be careful whenever you're going out looking for investors, because
I use my own cash. I tapped into my equity in my house.
Oh, okay, wow.
I made sure I put that back first.
And I think that's scary for some people, tapping into the equity of their home to start a business with their own money, because they're thinking, what if it doesn't work? You know, all these fears come into play. So it's a little scary, and I get it. But, you know, I've been there too, just putting out my own money without bringing investors in. Because if you bring them in a little too early, it can actually hurt you,
Right.
you know,
right.
in the long run.
Yeah, if you use your own cash to get set up and become attractive,
Right.
then you could bring the investors in, recoup your money, put your money back in the bank, then work off theirs. But it's very hard to convince someone to put up hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's your first rodeo. And then you have the pressure of making sure you get this money back to them. You know, taking the loss isn't great, but you have to answer yourself versus an investor. Who can then, after a certain time, if their money has not been returned, they now can take the restaurant from you. So that's why you got to be very careful. They can now take ownership of it because you have not delivered as promised. So they invest more equity, and they have more equity invested than you at a certain point, because the money you owe them and the money they invested is more than what your business is worth.
So it's like they own your business now.
Right. So now you're working somebody all over again.
Right. Yeah. Okay, good. This is great advice. I hope you guys are listening to everything Chef Arthur J is saying here. Now, I want to know I can't even get it out. A productivity tool or software that you use every day. So, because sometimes with businesses, they don't know what technology tool to actually use for their business. It's kind of, they just go on Google and search, you see a whole bunch of results. Can you give them a couple of tools that they would need to get started, or they just probably need to add to what they currently have?
Yeah, a POS system is point of sales. There's plenty of them out there. POS system will record all your sales and purchases, and as well as QuickBooks. Because again, we're talking about you putting up your own money, you're putting everything on the line, and you want to become attractive to an investor. I think a lot of us think that owning a restaurant is all about fancy plates. You know, you can have great food and go out of business within a year. But if your books are great and you have wonderful food, you stand a chance. So keep your books up, all your purchases, your sales, make sure your books are audited every day. So when you meet that investor, you have a pitch deck with your numbers that's attractive.
Okay, sounds good. So in our next section, now that I've kind of gotten to know Chef Arthur J, now we're going to actually get to the set of questions that I'm going to ask him that's going to help me build out his campaign and all his lead generation and everything that he needs. So I do know that you told me you need a website for one, correct?
Yes.
So that'll be something that we're going to actually create and develop for Chef Arthur J. We're going to develop his website. So these questions that I'm going to ask is going to actually help me and my team as well when I go back to them. It's going to help us not only build your site, but make sure we're getting the message right across the channels for your target audience. Okay?
All right.
Alrighty. And guys, the questions I'm about to ask him, and you can answer these questions on your own as well, just to make sure you're on the right track in your business too, okay? So what is the biggest pain point that you've been dealing with in your business these days?
There's a couple. Let's speak on one. As a small business in the restaurant industry, your purveyors, meaning who you purchase your food from, they increase your prices because you're a smaller company.
Oh,
right. So
interesting.
Someone that has a chain restaurant of maybe like 25 or more, they can promise to purchase a certain amount. As a smaller business, you can't make that promise.
Right.
So what they do, they increase your price to make it attractive to the larger company. So I would suggest, if you can, do your own purchasing by getting a refrigerated truck. That's what I had to do for myself. I got a refrigerated truck.
Okay.
And I went to Restaurant Depot. You can go to, I'm not going to call them, give everybody a shout out, but there's plenty of places you can go to do your own purchasing. That would help save some money.
Okay.
When you compare it, you're paying the extra like 20 to 25%.
But when you say that, so is that no longer a pain point for you, or is it still currently a pain point?
Yeah, it's still a pain point because you have to get up an hour early. You have to, doing your own shopping for a restaurant you have to have help. There's a lot of lifting, there's a lot of packaging going on, there's a lot of, you're not sitting at your desk or in the restaurant working, you're now out in the field.
Right, but in terms of, let's say with your customers, I guess the question is, do you feel like you need to get more clients so you can kind of compete with the big boys, so to speak?
Yeah, I think well, it's a crossroad there. I think where we are now, people are sort of like gravitating away from chain restaurants, and they do want something more unique.
Mm-hmm.
So stay on the cutting edge, and then, like you mentioned, social media can help me out with some exposure.
Okay,
I think
that's
exposure is the number one issue.
Okay, that's what I was getting to.
More, I guess, content. Is the
Okay, so you
issue
need
for
some
me
more
as well.
content. Okay.
Content. And I need an app, a way that my clients and I can communicate and get them the things they want, whether it's dinner on the fly.
So he's adding to the list, guys. So it's a website. Now
I
he
know you
wants a
catch
mobile
that one.
app
I
too.
need to catch that one. I need a
Okay.
mobile app too, because
Mhm.
this way they can download the app,
Mm-hmm.
and I can have a menu set up on the app.
Okay.
And like I said, I want to get back into the homes. You can come and buy family dinner, take it back home, unpack it. They'll think you made it yourself.
So when you say who are the they? Who are your customers, your audience? Who are you targeting?
My audience is going to be anywhere from 35 to 45.
Mm-hmm.
The professional female.
Okay,
Professional
35 to
female is my
45
audience.
professional
35 to
female.
45, 6 figures or better. She's a single mom.
Okay.
She have a very demanding job and have a life that's on the fly. However, she was raised, I guess, in the era when did sit down and eat dinner with family. So she want to get back to that. She's also concerned about her health. So she's looking for healthy meals as well.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So what are some, I'm sorry guys, we're just having a little technical issue here. You know we're live, so things are going to happen. So let me get, can you, Charles or Caitlin or Taylor, one of you guys grab this for me, please? Okay, it's back on now, actually. Okay. That'll happen when you're live, some technical issues, but we're back. So here we go, I'm sorry. So as far as, so we got your customer and you're, down. So what are some of your short-term goals that you would, like, what are you expecting? So you can say, okay, wow, this campaign was successful. What is it that you would like for us to do
I'm
to accomplish your
looking to
goals?
increase sales about 20%.
All right, 20%.
I'm looking to gain more followers, build more content that is attractive to sponsorship. Like I said, you have to start thinking in terms of how would I grow 5 years from now. So, if I can place product in stores, that'd be great.
All right. So your vision is to have your products in stores. What type of products?
I would do pre-cooked meats as well as spices and sauces and rubs.
Got you. Okay. Alrighty. And I've tasted some of your sauces. Well, pretty much a lot of your food, and it's really good. So I would definitely be a customer buying that.
I think your favorite is the chimichurri sauce.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me on the chimichurri sauce, please don't.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get. You know what? I'm gonna have you, if you don't mind, give a recipe that we can add online later, just so people can have know how to do the chimichurri sauce, or at least somewhat of some version of it. So I think that'd be pretty cool. So we're
That'd be
gonna
great
put it
for
on
the website as well.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely.
If I can
put it
do
on
a
there.
featured sauce or dish a week.
Oh yes.
For those who want to just go
Okay.
grocery shopping and pick it up yourselves, this way I corner the market. So if you want to do it yourself because you're a home cook, you can go in the grocery store and you can buy my brand.
Okay, we can
Or
definitely
you
do
can
that.
come out to the restaurant and pick it up, or you can dine in.
So that'll be great for your blog segment, your blog section.
Yes.
And we're going to actually develop his website on WordPress, wordpress.org, not .com, because .com and .org are two totally different platforms. So please keep that in mind. .org is what you want to go with. .org is you basically host your own content. .com, basically, if you do it on .com, they own your particular website. And it's not as flexible, and you do have some challenges, things that you won't be able to do on .com that you can do on .org. You just need a hosting company like GoDaddy or Bluehost, One-on-One Solutions, HostGator. There's a whole bunch of them out there. So I use GoDaddy. Usually that's what we're going to use for you, Chef Arthur. And here, guys, you know what? Just grab this here for me. Thank you. There we go. You can just take it off and just log it right back in. Sorry about that. But so we're going to have his site on WordPress. So that's going to be pretty cool. And it has a lot of different flexibilities there. So with your competitors, what is it that you see your competitors do better? Now, this is the question is a little different. What is it that they do better, and why do you think they're doing it better?
My competitors and what they're doing better. I think for the most part, they're more established.
Okay.
When you think of things like websites and apps and the correct POS system and software, reason why they've been established much longer than I have. They've been around much longer. I'm learning from my competitors as well. You know, the hardest part is now that minimum wage is going up to like $13.25 an hour. So me being a small company,
That is true here in California.
yeah, me
It
being a
is.
small company, I'm allowed to pay less. But why would you come work for me when you go across the street and make that $13.25 or better? So finding staff that's committed is very challenging.
Okay. Okay. Do you currently have any processes in place that we should know about before we dive into getting you online?
Such as,
Just any type, like right now, what social media platforms you're on, for example?
oh yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Chef Author J.
Chef Author J.
Okay, so do you post often, or are you not posting at all, or how does that look?
Very often. Now, you know, I see a lot of things I should be posting, but getting around to it and making it happen, I'm gonna need your help and coaching and training on that.
Okay, definitely.
Because I have a vision on how I can make things more exciting on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter through live video. There's some things that happen in the kitchen. I'm like, if this was live, this would be great.
It needs to be a reality show, sounds
Yeah,
like.
because even though the reality show still does not capture what really goes on in the kitchen.
Oh,
And I
okay,
just want to
wow.
give them the raw, real footage of what really goes on in the kitchen. It's very similar, guys and ladies too. You probably can think about more of a hair salon or a barber shop. The guys in the kitchen, we interact the same way. There's debates and about sports and conversation and things that's going on. And some of these guys have some very good points. You know, I appreciate the kitchen because it's like, it's Saturday night at 8 o'clock, you would love to be out somewhere socializing, having a great time.
Most definitely.
The kitchen is that dance floor.
Oh,
Although we
like
seem
that.
like we're cooped in the kitchen, there's a whole nother world behind that door. And we have team players that we work with for many years, and we're family. We spend more time in the kitchen with coworkers than you do at home. So if I'm in the kitchen for 12, 14 hours,
well, yeah, 12, 14 hours, and you got to go to bed. That's true.
you probably
Okay.
get about 6, 7 hours of sleep.
Yes.
How much more time do you have with your family?
Right. Okay. Okay. So what makes you better than your competition? Like, what's your unique? What's unique about you that kind of attracts your audience?
I think the fresh products. You know, I source for the fresh products. Even if I'm gonna make you a burger, I'm gonna make my own pickles. I'm gonna pickle my own onions. I'm gonna make sure I get my bread from a fresh bakery delivered daily. I think that would separate me from a lot of people because, you know, with high demand and dining, a lot of people just tend to open cans and bags out the freezer because it's quick and convenient. I understand why. I'm not going to knock it. I understand why it's quick and convenient. And with a lot of people today, they're not really concerned about fresh products. They want it in and out real quick, and they want it cheap. So they force a lot of chefs to cut corners. When I want a unique crowd that understands that this is a very fresh product.
Awesome. All righty. So I think I got enough information.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now, guys, I'll go back into my lab and basically put a strategy together for Chef Author J. And then we're actually going to launch his strategy, have him come back on the show in a few weeks so we can look at the results and see what works. We're going to, of course, incorporate ads and pretty much everything that you can think of when it comes to online marketing. We're going to definitely do an audit of your social media just to kind of see what it was, what you've been posting, when the last time you posted.
It's been months.
It's been months? Okay.
It's been months.
Okay, so he hasn't posted in a while. And you know, with Facebook algorithm, since it's changed, of course, strategy must change as well.
Right.
So if you're out there and you're posting pretty much or utilizing the same strategies you've been using on Facebook since last year, you're way behind the bar. So you just want to basically definitely step your game up because what they're focusing on now is making sure whatever you're posting, it must attract people in a genuine way. It can't be like you're trying to sell something all the time. You understand what I'm saying?
Understood.
So yeah, you can't always sell. And with what, the audience that you're going after, I think this is a perfect combination of the new algorithm and what you're doing. This is going to make our job a little easier.
And I think that's unique. I think it's honest. It's not me trying to trap you into really buying something. At the end of the day, if you want to take my recipes or purchase my cookbook that I'm working on to be out real soon. Did I get that in?
Yeah, you got that in now. I'm going to have to charge him. No.
Then what I would like to help you. I would really like to help you. I'm not making a dime off you. I mean, if you don't want the cookbook, you just want to go to the website and grab the recipes, that's great. If it helped you and your family, wonderful. I still serve the purpose, and that's something, like I said in the very beginning, I just want to help bring families back together. At least one meal a day. One meal a day, we all sit down and break bread together.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, that was our special guest, Chef Arthur J. Again, stay tuned to see what we have for him. And if you would like to be on the show here in the studio, like Chef Arthur J. is, or if you would like to call into the show, definitely just email us at info@LakeishaSpeaksTech.com. So we'll send you out the link, and then you can fill the form out to submit to actually be here on the show. Now, I will actually be flying to some people. So New York, Atlanta, Chi-Town, Houston, and the list goes on. If you're interested in me coming to coach you and consult with you, and basically, like I said, bringing a little bit of my technology and digital marketing agency to you at no cost to you, actually. If you're interested in that, make sure you email us, okay? info@LakeishaSpeaksTech.com. My goal and mission is to really help at least 1,000 businesses, which is why I've been pushing for subscribers for the YouTube channel, because I really do want to help you guys. And if you have questions, you always can ask questions, and we'll come back and comment below the video, and we'll come back and answer those questions for you, even if it's after the show, because I am here to serve, and I love helping people, and I'm just happy to be in this position, to be able to reach out and help people. And we already actually have other businesses. We have like 3 of them already in New York, because we're going to do 5 businesses per city. Here we have a little more than 5 here in LA since we're here. But we already have people that's 2 in Atlanta. We already have companies that are already come in. That makes me super excited. And pretty much, again, I just love helping people and just want to make sure that you guys are succeeding online and with your technology as well. So make sure you check out the website. Chef Arthur J., just tell everyone how they can find you once more so they know where to go to follow you.
I'm on Facebook, Chef Arthur J, Twitter, as well as Instagram.
Okay, everything is Chef Arthur J across the board.
Chef Arthur J.
All right, and we already purchased a domain name for ChefArthurJSurprise.com.
There you go.
So everything's on board.
Sounds great.
And so you can stick around here. We're kind of wrapping things up, but you can stick around if you want, or you can leave. You're going to stick around a little longer?
Let's stick around
Just a little longer, huh?
Stick around a little
Just a
longer.
little
I just
longer.
like to say one more thing to any business owner that's starting out, or it's not just the culinary industry, whatever industry you're looking to start out in. You got to just jump out there. There's no perfect time. If you're waiting for that perfect moment when you're going to start, you'll be waiting till you're old and gray. Just jump out there. I just put in a 2-week notice and stepped off on faith.
Oh, wait a minute. Back it up. So 2-week notice. Explain that to everyone. What is?
I submitted my notice. I resigned from work and just stepped out on faith with no plans, just a lot of passion for what I want to do and prayer. Just step out on faith.
Wow. So you heard it first here on our show on Lakeisha Speaks Tech. So Chef Arthur J gave his 2-week notice. That's pretty dope. That's cool. Actually, I don't use dope a lot, but yeah. So that's pretty cool. Wow. But you know what? You do have to do that. And I did something similar. Not making it about me, but kind of is. The fact that moving from the East Coast over here to the West Coast and leaving a 6-figure job at Marriott, it was a similar situation. It was literally stepping out on faith.
Yeah.
Not knowing anyone here, never visiting California. So I'm really proud of you. And I am, oh gosh, we're definitely about to be working real hard. I didn't know this, so this is new to me as well. But this is great news. Awesome.
So I am for hire.
Yeah, there you go. Here we go.
Let me mention that I am for hire. Just stepped out on faith. And I'll do side jobs here and there. I'll do what I have to do to keep my family afloat and provide for my family. But at the same token, I just want something to pass down. You know, we don't have anything to pass down besides a pension check. I want to, you know, have a business passed down to my family, whether they decide to operate it or have someone manage it. I just want to leave something behind.
And the thing is, I mean, I can really see you doing this. You know, I'm on Yelp a lot, and I see you're on Yelp, and you probably don't even know it. But I see people talking because I know the restaurant that you're at or used to be at, and they're just saying
4.6 stars.
What did you say?
I have 4.6 stars. On Yelp.
So you have a lot of 5 stars too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying great things about you. So that is huge, you know, just to have those type of things. So I'm going to suggest that we're going to definitely grab those reviews off of Yelp. We're going to utilize those to your advantage so you can actually have those on your website too, so people can just see how great you are.
Sounds great.
Okay?
I'm
All
excited.
right. Oh, good. I'm excited too. So I'm really pumped. So guys, we're coming to the end of this first episode of our first show. I just thank you all for joining. And we have a lot of special and different guests that will be coming on. We have from, like I said, successful business owner to people coming on here talking about even government contracts. We have a lot of things in store for you, even some celebrities. They're going to stop by from time to time. So make sure you tune in every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. That's PST. West Coast time, East Coast that is 12:30 p.m. and Central time is 11:30. Not p.m. I mean a.m. But 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 a.m. p.m. I am right p.m. in the East Coast because it's afternoon.
Right.
Duh. So make sure you guys tune in, and I'm here every Wednesday. It's been great, and as always, I would like to wish you guys happy online marketing, and I will be sharing our next guest with you a little later this week. Okay, and thank you all for joining.